I'm going to be
Welcome
honest.
to my show. Yes, go on.
Okay. I feel like I have a pretty of a banger. That's not how you say words. I feel like I have a pretty big banger to start with. So I just want to launch into something that'll get the audience excited, get us talking, get energies up.
All right.
So
Big
the big
philosophical
start.
turd for me.
The big
Let's go.
start. Here we go. If shorts have tassels on them, do you think that you need to wear them tied in a knot, or is it fine to just leave them loose?
Wow.
Like a drawstring around the waist. In my dotage, now, approaching mid-30s, I've sort of given up with the knot. I just let him hang.
This goes back centuries, this question.
Yeah.
To the ancient Greeks, I believe. Yeah, well, look, how about this, Nick? I've got a real world example of this. I'm actually wearing pants right now
Wow.
that I have bought
Don't tell me. I want to guess what it is that you've got going on. Set it up, but then I want to guess whether you're tied or dangled.
Okay, so I bought pants. So I came across this kind of conundrum, or this crossroads in my life, and I think it's apt to say that you're approaching mid-30s. We both are, and these are the kinds of questions that you're wondering. Where is the Venn diagram of comfort and
Class.
presentable?
Yeah.
And I think I found the perfect pant for that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Does it have a potential hip tightening mechanism? Like, should I even guess here whether you're dangling or whether you've tied a knot, or is it completely unrelated?
So I have a drawstring. So
okay, you have a drawstring. Michael, I think you're like me. I think we've been, brothers in podcasts for years. I don't reckon there's any chance that's tied. I reckon you're living the free life down there. Loose as your mother's. No, there's no nice way to finish that sentence. I apologize.
What did you say?
I said loose as your mother's, and then I was like, well, there's nothing I can say. There's no.
Values.
Okay.
No, that's even worse.
Even that, yeah.
Incredibly tight values.
You're not tied.
I'm not tied.
Okay.
I'm not tied. So I've bought these pants. They're from Zara.
Okay.
So not bragging,
Okay.
but I am.
Yeah. $120 sweatpants.
Well, 70. But which is a lot for a pant that's essentially made in a sweatshop.
Yeah.
Much like any other. But it's factory kind of mass produced fashion. Fast fashion, if you will, that's kind of presents as if it's kind of boutiquey and a little bit upper class, but it's not. It's just not.
Would you like it if someone came up and said, "Hey, are those Zara?" How would that make you feel?
Yeah, I think I'd feel good about it. Like I do think when I was a bit younger, I thought Zara was like all that. I thought it was like
I remember when it showed up at Burnside, like that was the huge deal. We're going to renovate an entire mall just so that Zara deigns to come and, display their wares for us.
But Zara is just H&M for people with a little bit more money, I think.
Yeah.
But anyway, I bought these they're just kind of a black smart tracksuit pant. So you can kind of wear them with anything. You can wear them as a kind of a pajama. I like to wear them on the plane because they're very comfortable with the elastic.
Yep,
but you still kind of look like you almost look like you're wearing a suit pant. And you can wear them with a sneaker, you can wear them with a sandal. They're brilliant.
Okay.
But back to
I feel
the
like
point.
I was so focused on the drawstring, I didn't really take in the full majesty of everything else going on. Can you do a little bit of a show? Can I see the whole picture? Yeah.
This is very Harvey Weinstein, but okay.
Okay. It does actually look more formal than in a standard sweat. Oh, that's classy. Yeah, there's no. So he's standing and raising a leg, and it had plenty of give. Like that seemed quite
A lot of
flexible.
give.
Yeah.
A lot of give.
Um,
A lot of give. A lot of comfort. A lot of flexibility. I could go if I wanted to. Honestly, could go running in these pants.
Interesting. That's the kind of value that you get at $70 that you might not get with like a 25 or a 30.
Exactly. Um.
You were returning to the
Wow.
drawstring.
Um. This is not interesting, is it?
I disagree.
All right. Yeah. So my drawstring these days remains loosened, not tight. I also, because I'm wearing like t-shirts over the top of these pants.
Yeah.
Sometimes when you tie the knot, it gives you a little bit of a bulge that where you don't want to bulge
Yeah. No, that's sort of where
with the
I ended
knot.
up as well. Some
Yeah.
pants these days, the drawstring comes on the inside, so you can tie a knot there, but it still sits flush.
Sure.
Whereas in that kind of circumstance, I'd be happy to.
Can I ask what type of pants you're wearing that have drawstrings? So like, are they like a
Just a short.
jeans?
No, just I'm talking shorts.
Okay, shorts.
Yeah.
Like a kind of a like a bather that kind of you could wear to the
Sort like
shops.
I mean, yeah, not like a
swim
actual board
short, a
short,
swim short.
but
Yeah.
yeah. But you know,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
shorts,
I rock
shorts have
those
a
too.
drawstring. You know.
Yeah, true. Yeah, that's cool, man. That's really good. That's I'm glad we're on the same page.
Yeah, don't know what I would have
Yeah.
done if I'd seen you with a bow. To be honest.
No. I mean, yeah, I've tried it out, but it's not for me. I also just like the look. I like what it suggests. You know,
It's
it's
like a
as a
free
guy who
spirit.
can't. It's a little bit like a free spirit, and it also kind of makes you feel like you got a bit more hanging between your legs if you catch my Taylor Swift.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I hadn't contemplated that might be an added bonus, but maybe that's everything I need.
I got to take all the movement I can get down there these days.
Welcome to Deep Thought, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us, and indeed for sticking around. This is a podcast in which we discuss the important things of the world, of this reality, of this universe, with just a sort of laid back, no strings attached kind of vibe. Sitting through the internet with me, my friend Michael. Hey.
Hello.
And my name is Nick. Hello.
I don't know about no strings attached. Like we could probably do with some strings attached.
Yeah, it
To
was
our-
sort of like it was like a pant callback, but I
Yeah.
hear you.
That's not bad. Like imagine if that movie No Strings Attached with Ashton Kutcher and
Catherine Heigl?
who was it? No, who was that with? No, it was Natalie Portman.
Portman.
Yeah, I bet she
Okay.
regrets that movie.
Yeah, she's done
In
some
hindsight.
things in her life that probably were not her like passion projects.
Yeah, I guess so. Geez, Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis's public image has really taken a nosedive after this Danny Matheson stuff. Do you remember when they?
They stood
came
by
out-
him, right? Yeah.
Yeah, because they worked with him on that '70s show, and then they wrote a character reference for him when
To
he
the
had been
court.
charged, I think, with multiple counts of rape.
Yeah.
And then they issued that. I'm loving these celebrity apology videos that they're doing in their $1 million mansions, but with like they're choosing
Like a
I think
blank
Drew
corner.
Barrymore's done one. Yeah, they did one in. They did Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis for this apology video for this Danny Matheson's shit that came out and had a bit of backlash for. They did their apology video in front of like a shed and it looked like all rustic and like very working class. But then I saw an article come out and they were like, they've done an Architecture's Digest. You know that thing where the
Yeah,
celebrities
they walk
take
through the
thing
house,
through
yeah.
the house. And they were like, this like shed is like a boutique, you know, jazzed up. It's like incredible.
Like home cinema
But they're-
vibes with like a personal bar, and that's where the wait staff live. And
Yeah. They're like giving the impression that they've been painting all day or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, just got back from a shift at the factory.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, how are you, man?
I'm all right, thank you. I've sort of noticed it's almost December now and found myself wondering where the hell the fucking year went. I don't know about you, but
Yeah.
what are you now? 6 months into travel?
Yeah. 6
Like,
months
that's-
in. I gotta say, yeah, I know. It's so bizarre. It's so bizarre. uh, what was I going to say? It's just we've talked about it so many times. The years are just getting shorter and shorter. We've talked about why that is with the kind of the illusion of time
Perception.
that we have
Yeah.
as we get older, perception. But still, I'm just like every year I'm like, really November? It's just like I can just so vividly remember the things that I was doing this time last year, and I go back through my phone constantly through my photos, constantly looking at what I was doing this time last year, and it just I'm kind of like egging that feeling on. I'm kind of like leaning into it a lot. It's
Egging
kind
the
of
feeling, like egging your own brain on.
yeah. Like I'm like I want the feeling. I don't know what it is. It's like a nostalgia, like whatever.
That's like
Like
short term nostalgia. It's like, remember 7 months ago?
but it's like
Fetishizing?
fetishizing, fetishizing nostalgia. I
Yeah.
think I have a nostalgia fetish.
Okay.
Yeah, a bit
Interesting.
kinky, isn't it?
Bit kinky, yeah.
Bit kinky.
Um,
What's your? I like smelling feet. What's yours? I like to remember the past.
ooh, yeah, talk bad to me. I had an N64 when they came out of the shops.
I mean, my OnlyFans is going to be it's going to be more niche, I think.
Very niche, very, very subjective.
Not a bad idea.
So that said, is travel going well?
Yeah, it is going well. We're
Are you
back
still in Vietnam?
We are. We've got a week. No, we've got 2 days left in Vietnam before we go to Taiwan. Which I'm
Oh,
super excited about.
yeah, I'd love to go
But
to Taiwan.
we're back in Ho Chi Minh City for like the fourth time, just because it's like where it's located, and because it's like the capital of Vietnam. Like you have to come and go from there. But
Yeah.
it's been really nice because it's like one of my favorite cities that we've been to. Probably my favorite city.
You're finding different accommodation every time you're back, or are you able to get in where
Yeah.
you were?
Well, they have this area called Little Japan, which we got really lucky, stayed in an Airbnb in Little Japan, and it was just so fucking cool. It was like, it felt very much like you're in Japan. And so the second time we went back to Little Japan, and then now we're staying a little bit further out.
Yeah.
But we were in a place, where were we last? We were in a place called Nha Trang, which is kind of by the beach. It was miserable, but it was nice. A lot of Russians there. And it is weird. There are a lot of Russians in this kind of coastal city that you wouldn't probably have heard of, but it's because they have direct flights from Moscow to this city in Vietnam.
Why?
Yeah. Well, because Russians love the beach
Well, yeah, I can imagine that.
because it's so fucking cold there, and they like things that are super cheap. So the beers in Nha Trang, like you get a long neck of Saigon beer for 50 cents. It is deadly, and there are just so many. It's just filled with Russians. Like there is, every restaurant will have a Russian menu, like in Cyrillic.
Wow. Every
More than they
restaurant.
would have in every single one.
Jeez.
More than they will have English. So sometimes you go and you'll have, it'll be Cyrillic first, and then Vietnamese, and then some of them will have English as well. But yeah, it's mostly there's probably more Russians there than Vietnamese. That's just not true at all. But whatever, it feels true.
It was an impressive thing to say, regardless.
Thank you. Yeah, I've got loads of those. If you want more made up facts that feel true. So we went from the coastal town back to Nha Trang. We took an overnight bus, which I've taken a few in my time. I've taken a couple in India, taken a few here, but this time we thought, it's a 12 hour, maybe 16-hour journey, and we're gonna like fork out a little bit more. And by a little bit more, I mean I'm talking like a $30 first class ticket for this overnight bus, and it was so nice. It was like bougie. Like you've got plenty of space. You probably would be a little bit. It's probably not enough leg room, but you can lie down. Yeah, because you're a bit taller as a 6'8". How tall are you?
I'm 6'9" now, actually. Yeah.
6'9". So you're really drinking your milk.
It's all about the calcium.
And anyway, beautiful cabin. You've got a curtain. You've got Wi-Fi, fast Wi-Fi. You've got a USB port. You can charge your phone. It's great. It's kind of let down a little bit by it doesn't. The bus driver itself, the bus driver himself, was a maniac. Like and this is not new in Vietnam. They all kind of drive like this, but he was kind of driving very radically, and it's kind of honking on the horn. And we're catching a 10 p.m. bus and arriving at 4:30 a.m. The next morning. It's not great, but we were saying that like you've got this like beautiful kind of cabin, and it feels very privileged and luxurious to be being able to lie down while you're traveling.
Yeah.
But it kind of doesn't make any difference if you're kind of swerving all the time and trying to just stay in your bed and waking up because the person's just honking on the horn. But it's you take that kind of shit in Vietnam, as a given, and you just kind of cop it. Anyway, so we rock up. We booked this hotel, and we're only here for a couple of nights. So when we're here for like shorter periods of time, we are booking hotels over Airbnbs just because there's more like there's.
I mean, the price difference is gone now. An Airbnb and a hotel basically does the same thing. There was a golden era like 10 years ago where like you could get a beautiful room for so much less than you could get a hotel. But these days, they're exactly the same.
I guess the only thing is if you're staying longer term, you can get kind of long-term stay discounts on Airbnb.
Yeah.
But
well, and an Airbnb is still like typically a house, so you find services and facilities that you wouldn't always get at a hotel.
Yeah, but we thought we'd spend a little bit more than we usually do. Still not that much, like $100 a night.
Yeah,
and we're getting quite a lot for that. But the check-in usually is at 2 p.m. for these places. But so we paid a little bit extra because our bus was coming in at 4:30. And we didn't want to, it's already going to be no sleep kind of deal.
Yeah.
We just want to get in and so they say, all good, $30 for an early check-in and it's a 24-hour desk. Great. Get off at the bus, 4:30. There were 2 hours, 3 hours of sleep maybe we got each.
Groggy, yeah.
But, we're still kind of, feeling grateful for having, a relatively pleasant travel experience of being able to lie down at least. And not having,
you can't even lie down on planes. Like, you've done very well.
No, it was even though we didn't get the sleep, it was still restful in a way.
Yeah.
So we get off the bus at 4:30. We catch an Uber, and it's completely dark in Ho Chi Minh. And we get a grab. All's going pretty well. We get a grab to our hotel, completely dark. So we're like
the exterior of the building, you mean?
Yes.
Oh.
And we were told 24-hour check-in. There's someone at the desk all the time.
Yeah.
So we're like, oh, this is not great. We lug up our huge 25-kilogram suitcases up the stairs, and we think there's no one in here. And then I look inside the window.
And it is like a hotel. Like it's you ended up at the right place.
There's a hotel, and the name of the hotel is clearly stated there.
Yeah.
I peer inside the glass, and there's two guys in shirts passed out on the lobby couch. And they look like they have been in uniform.
Uh-huh.
And not only are they passed out, but there is a bottle of Jim Beam, half drunk, on the table.
Okay.
Now this is not a scummy hotel.
Yeah.
This is like a legitimate hotel that has a lobby and
it's out of place. Yeah.
It was strange, but it's again, it's not that strange for Vietnam. Like there's a slower pace here, which I appreciate. We've been at hotels where we've rocked up and they've just gone, oh yeah, we don't have that room. Like, well, we booked it 2 months ago, and they're like, yeah, we just don't have it. We can give you a lesser room, and we're like, okay, well, there's only so much negotiation you can do, especially with the language barrier, whatever. So anyway, I'm like, this is funny to us, like. Even though we're tired, we're in good spirits. We're kind of laughing about it.
Yeah.
I open the door, put our suitcases in.
So it's unlocked.
It's unlocked, so it's unlocked, but there's kind of a dim light on.
Yeah.
But then clearly not expecting anyone to check in
No.
or check out right now.
No.
And they've clearly had a party. Not only is there a Jim Beam bottle on the table,
Yeah.
there's like cigarettes outside, not just like stubbed. There's like the ashtrays are full,
Yeah.
but there's like a fresh deck with a lighter on it. So they've been smoking and drinking and partying all night, right?
Yeah.
So I put the suitcases in. I'm not like being too careful about waking them up.
No.
Like, I kind of want them to wake up, And I think I said, I like tried to say hello, and just no movement whatsoever.
Yeah. Gone. Yeah.
So now it's like 4:35. So I didn't want to. None of us wanted to go up to them and kind of shake them awake. We thought that was a step too far. So we thought, okay, well, someone's eventually going to check out. We guess, and they can do our dirty work for us. So I went and got us some coffees, and we sat outside and just kind of watched the sunrise. And then eventually 2 backpackers came up and came downstairs to check out, and they were as baffled as we were by the situation. Like, these guys were dead to the world. We're not moving. They wanted to check out and leave. So anyway, they ended up shaking one of them awake, and then we managed to get up to them and say, we've got this early check-in, blah, blah, blah. This guy is like, he's trying to deal with us. We've just seen him asleep, passed out on the couch. Yeah. He's trying to check us in. His eyes are like red and blurry. He's got
absolutely no tasseled. Hope. Yeah.
He's got wrinkles. It's like, we know. He knows what we know. Anyway, they're like, yeah, we're completely full. So we can squeeze you in at 12 p.m. We're like, we have paid for this extra early check-in, and it is like 5:30 now, and we have waited. Like, can you cut us some slack here?
Yeah,
we show them the thing. Anyway, we ended up getting another room. They booked us into another room so that we could just check in until 12 when our actual room was ready. So we had to move. They still charged us.
They charged you what?
They still charge for the early check-in.
Okay.
I know. So this is the other thing. Like, Lauren and I are trying to have this like conversation. We're trying to work out, just before, I'm like, they're going to charge us before. So we've booked this early check-in. They're going to charge us before we get to the room. So they want the payment up front. And we're kind of having this conversation. Are they going to charge us? Are they going to actually charge us for this early check-in? And we're kind of saying, we're thinking that they probably won't, given that our room is not ready. And
when you paid for that specifically, yeah,
right. And so we get the bill, and it's on there. And Lauren and I kind of looking at each other, and again, there's like a language barrier here.
Yeah,
we're trying to communicate. Lauren and I, like, how much do we want to push back here? Yeah, I kind of said, I don't think we should have to pay. And they said, why not? And I said, because our room's not ready, and we can get in. Yeah, you've given us a holding room, but we can't unpack our stuff. We can lie down, have a shower, but like, we can't really do anything. And they said, it's broken English. Like, I understand, but you still have the room. And so I honestly felt not a man, Nick. I kind of felt emasculated. We just kind of let them do it.
Well, what are you going to do? I mean, what are you going to do?
I know. That's what kind of Lauren's approach was. And I'm like, it's $30, fine. But also, I just felt like I was being robbed.
Yeah.
I know.
And it was because they were fucking drunk. It's not like, someone had been in an accident, or, like there wasn't a staff member on hand, or the room had been needed because there was an emergency or anything. It's just like, no, you were just fucking drunk. You had a Christmas party and lay in the foyer for an hour.
Yeah. Yeah, a 2-man Christmas party.
Yeah.
Look, I kind of respect it. I've been there. I think it's funny. I'm glad when anyone's having a good time. I just want people to have a good time. Like, if the guys were kind of light sleepers, and as soon as we got in, they kind of like, combed their hair with their hands. Yeah. Oh, sorry, tucked in their shirt.
Yeah,
like, sorry about that, and then just got us to our room. I'm like, we got no issues.
That's great. Yeah,
we got no boys. Have a great night.
Yeah, get back on the JBs.
Just let me up to my room, and I'll be on my merry way. And then just to be kind of slugged an extra $30. But yeah,
Yeah.
it's just anyway. I'm not a real man.
Can I give you the antithesis? And this is perhaps why I am more masculine than you now. So
Yeah,
we went
now.
for Korean. It's a recent development. We went for Korean fried chicken last Friday,
Love
and
KFC.
I mean, what an incredible, cultural experience that is. But we ordered some wedges on the side, and I'd asked for some. It had come with sour cream, and I was like, I'm not going to eat wedges without some sweet chili in this mix. So I asked for a sweet chili. Never got it. Never got it. They didn't bring it round. It was
Disgusting.
busy. It was Friday night. Asked this young guy. The guy was like, yep, walked off. Never saw him again.
Yeah.
And then we got to the counter, and what do you know? Sitting there on the bill, $3,
Oh boy.
surcharge,
Oh boy.
extra sauce, sweet chili. And I said, now hold on there, missy. I was speaking to a young woman. I said, we did not receive any sweet chili, despite the fact that it's been added to our bill, and I will not stand for it. And she took it off the bill, and I walked out, dick flapping loose in the wind with the courage of a masculine man,
Yes. Dick flapping like a drawstring on a loosened pant.
like a Zara classic. Yeah.
Now, but you've always been someone, and I do respect this about you, and I think inspired is probably a bit too strong, but I think you've always been someone who will send, you'll send back something that you're not happy with, or if it's the wrong order. I think we've talked about it many times.
We have talked previously.
You will kick up a stink.
I don't kick up a stink. Thank you very much.
You stink it up. Stink it up.
I'll shit my pants to make a scene so that the waiter comes over and gives us the attention we deserve. That's what you're getting at? Mm-hmm. Okay. I don't kick up a stink, but at the same time, if I feel like there has been an oversight when everything has been clear, about what I've wanted and what I've paid for or whatever like that, I'm not generally afraid to go say, sorry, I did order the completely different meal, to what you brought out, or that kind of thing. Excuse me, how much longer do you think our food will be? Because it's been 45 minutes. Like, I'm not afraid from that. I'm not afraid for that. And I'm very careful with when that's deployed, because I'm not going to be the person who said, excuse me, when's my food going to be here, when it's been, 6 minutes and clearly there's one person in the kitchen and the whole restaurant's full. I'm not just a dick, but I will be assertive to make sure that if I've been clear about something, or, if it has been a lapse of service, I'll ask for something politely to be resolved.
Yeah, and that's what I want. That's what I want more of in my life. I want that. I want to have enough self-respect to be assertive when I need to be, but I just don't see it. I just don't. Maybe I just don't respect myself enough.
I don't know. I mean, some of it comes from working in retail as well. Like, we've been the person on the receiving end of shitty customers. So maybe you.
I think that's what it is. I'm like so scared of being that guy that I will be taken advantage. Well, maybe not. I don't think anyone's trying to take advantage of you. I think more often than not, it's just like a lazy person, or who doesn't really give a fuck.
Yeah.
Which I've been that person too. I can get on board with that, but like, I just want the thing that I asked for. I mean, even saying that, I'm like, grossing myself out.
Gross. Why should I get the thing that I wanted?
I don't think I deserve it. And it does come back to self-respect. I don't think I deserve good service. I don't even want good service. I just want my stuff. My bar is so low.
Be mean to me, but just give me the thing.
That's it. Honestly, spit in my food. As long as I have it, I'm not gonna complain.
I got to tell you, I had a bit of one of these issues last week. Casey and I went out for brunch, and we were having two of the same meal item. We were having two big breakfasts, and
okay, I'm gonna circle back to that.
Okay, do you want to circle now, or shall we get through?
I think so. Do you guys share food as a couple?
Not really. No.
You buy individual things.
Yeah. Oh, we would absolutely never split a meal, if that's what you're asking. Like
Well,
we
I mean,
wouldn't
like if
buy a
there's
one
two
person
things,
meal and eat a half of it. If we had
you would never do that.
no, not one between two, but if we had both got like if we when we went to KFC to get the Korean chicken, we got two different types of chicken and ate some of each other's.
Oh yeah,
Like
yeah, yeah. That's what I meant.
that's yeah,
That's
sure.
what I meant.
We would never split one meal and only one meal because we are
Gotcha.
two hungry men. Um, but
Yeah, so the things that I wanted to say, sorry, just quickly, is that, as a couple, like that is one of the benefits of being a couple. You can try two different things. If you're like, oh, I want this thing, but I also want to try that thing. You get to try both.
yeah,
One of the few perks of being in a relationship.
yeah.
But
It also applies
I
to clothing in gay couples. I can like wear his shirts. Like he's given me like gym wear and that kind of stuff.
I mean, yeah, this is very pertinent to our life right now. Lauren has actually just hijacked my entire wardrobe lately. She's sick of her clothes, and now she's just wearing all my shirts. So
Sure. Fair enough.
it applies. It applies in both.
And have you worn her crop tops and things?
I have tried them on.
Okay.
But I don't, it's not as flattering.
It's more,
as
yeah,
when
it's
she
more of a
wears my stuff.
unidirectional thing. Yeah.
But we actually ordered the same thing on the menu the other day, and we felt very strange about it. We felt like we weren't,
Maximizing the
we weren't ordering.
opportunity.
Yeah.
Yeah. We would not, this was unusual. I think we were similar, like in terms of our breakfasts. We don't always have the same thing. There is one cafe that we only go to so that we can have the pancakes there. And so we both end up having the pancakes. But generally speaking,
And
we're having
was this that place?
It wasn't. No, it was a different. So we had two big breakfasts. And I went up to order because it was a very easy order. And I am not a person who goes for mushrooms. I'm just not like a huge mushroom guy. So I wanted to...
You're not a fun guy?
I'm not a fun guy. It was sitting there and I didn't take it.
It was right there, dude.
Fuck.
It was weird that you didn't say it.
I know. It's like I deliberately avoided it somehow, subconsciously. So I wanted to do a substitution on mine for some spinach. Casey was just having a standard big breakfast. I went up to the counter. Hi, can I have two big breakfasts, please? One, I'd like to sub out the mushrooms for the spinach, and one just normal. Yep, all good. Fine. Tap, pay wave, off we go. Sat down. Food came out a bit later. Just the one big breakfast. And then I was like, okay, they've been busy. Like I've been watching them like plate up the other tables. Like I've seen a bit of a trickle thing going on. So I waited for Casey's meal to come, and then 5 minutes passed, and so I was like, oh, I better go check.
That's annoying.
They had
Now, was Casey eating at this
no,
time?
he had no food. So they brought mine. They didn't bring his.
Oh, so they had the spinach one.
They had the spinach one, and I got up there and I said, hey, so sorry, just wondering how much longer the other one's going to be. And they said, other one? I was like, yeah, the two big breakfasts, one where they substitute the spinach, one just normal. Oh, no, we just put one in. I was like, oh.
Did you check the...
And I checked the
statement?
bank statement, and it was one that had gone through. But I had just sort of tapped because they'd rattled off what I'd said. I'd not done the diligence to like read the machine or like to recognize that the $45 was not both of them or whatever. And so then I was in this awkward position where it's like, well, I did ask for it, but you haven't charged me for it. And then I was like, well, Casey, do you want me to put it through? And he's like, oh, now it'll be another 20 minutes. Like you'll be finished and then you'll be waiting for me. Like, do you want something from the, just a mess.
I mean, fair enough. That's annoying as fuck, but that's an honest mistake. But the thing is, in that situation, as being someone who has, worked as a, bartender, a waiter, you name it. In that situation, if I have fucked up, I go over the top to like, first of all, it's not your products, so you can just give shit to customers if you fucked up, and you can atone for it with other people's stuff. It's a perfect system. I don't know why everyone doesn't do it, and so I get annoyed when there's been like a fuck up, and I'm like, perfectly fine, honest mistake, don't mind. But then if I don't get like a free item at the end of it, I'm like, fuck you.
That was the thing where I was a bit like, disappointed in that because it was like, yes, it was a mistake, but I know that I asked for the thing, and yes, maybe I should have checked my bank account, when it went through to make sure that you charged me the right amount of money. But like you're the one
We're
listening and
living in a
responding and repeating it, like.
yeah, yeah.
And at the end of it, there was not the effort to be like, "Oh, I'm very sorry about that. Like, let us put one through for you. We'll rush it to the head of the line. It'll be 10 minutes max. You don't worry about it, and we'll bring it over to you." And there was not
Yeah.
that at all. It was just like, "No, sorry, we just put one through."
Yeah, that's not good. That's not good.
Yeah,
I don't like that. Just give me some free shit. It's so easy, dude. So easy.
Something from the cabinet.
I've got a little. I don't know what you got on the menu, but I've
got
something.
nothing on the menu.
All right, beautiful. Because I got a little. This is more of a new kind of article, but I came across this interesting article. Now it is from last year, but I think it still stands true. It's very interesting, and it's an article in NPR.
Is it the stability of the Middle East and how all things will continue to be great?
Yeah, it is. And I typed into ChatGPT, what's the solution to the Middle East war? And it said, we'll love one another.
It's just like Beatles easy. Lyrics came back.
Yeah. Just love one another. That's so bad. Anyway, but so this article that I came across, NPR, it's about what emojis you use and which color emoji is most appropriate depending on your identity or your racial identity,
your skin color.
So it might be basically the article is saying it might be a little bit more complicated than we think. And so I'm just going to read a little bit of this article, Nick, if you would indulge me.
Please take the stage.
Heath Rayseller. So this article is titled, "Which skin color emoji should you use? The answer can be more complex than you think." Heath Rayseller identifies as 3/4 white and 1/4 Filipino. When texting, he uses a yellow emoji instead of a skin tone option because he feels it doesn't represent any specific ethnicity or color. He doesn't want people to view his text in a particular way. He wants to go with what he sees as the neutral option and focus on the message. Quote, "I present as a very pale, very light-skinned person. And if I use the white emoji, I feel like I'm betraying the part of myself that's Filipino. But if I use a darker color emoji, which maybe more closely matches what I see when I look at my whole family, it's not what the world sees, and people tend to judge that." In 2015, 5 skin tone options became available for hand gesture emojis, in addition to the default Simpsons-like yellow. Choosing one can be a simple texting shortcut for some, but for others, it opens a complex conversation about race and identity. Quote, "I use the brown one that matches me," said Sarai Cole, an opera singer in Germany. "I have some friends who use the brown ones too, but they are not brown themselves. This confuses me." Cole is originally from California and identifies as Black and an American descendant of slavery. She said that while she was not offended when a non-brown friend used a dark emoji, she would like to understand why. Quote, I think it would be nice if it is their default, but if they're just using it with me or other brown people, I would want to look deeper into that and know why they're doing it." Jennifer Epperson from Houston identifies as Black, and she said she changed her approach depending on who she is talking to. Quote, "I use the default emoji, the yellow-toned one, for professional settings." That's hilarious. "And then I use the dark brown emoji for friends and family," she said.
I just don't hilarious just in the idea of like sending emojis in the workplace.
yeah, for a professional message. "I just don't have the emotional capacity to unpack race relations in professional setting." It goes on a little bit. I will just go on a little bit more, Nick, if that's all right.
Please.
Is the yellow emoji really neutral? A 2018 study published by the University of Edinburgh looked at the use of emojis, use of different skin tone emojis, what it referred to as modified emojis, on Twitter to find out if the modifiers contributed to self-representation. Alexander Robertson, an emoji researcher at Google and PhD candidate involved in the study, said the emoji modifiers were used widely, but it was people with darker skin who used them in higher proportions and more often. After another look at Twitter data Andrew McGill, then writer for The Atlantic, found that some white people may stick with the yellow emoji because they don't want to assert their privilege by adding a light-skinned emoji to a text or to take advantage of something that was created to represent diversity. I think I can end it there. It does go on, but have you ever thought about what kind of emojis you're using, and have you ever modified the skin color of your emoji?
It is a very interesting area, isn't it? I think that I have probably not consciously sat down and thought, what's my approach here going to be? And maybe that's just because 90% of what I send is eggplant emojis, which you just
Nice.
leave that as is. But
Absolutely.
there would have been moments in which I have used like a thumbs up or experimented with a thumbs up that's like the paler, like actual white skin color. But I think that it's true for me, not to the extent where using a white thumbs up is reinforcing, white supremacy or any kind of concern about like triggering other people by putting my white thumbs up in the thing. More just like I don't see it as necessary for me to specify that it's my thumbs up, like to match it to me, because like the faces are all yellow, and when I send the face through, I'm not. It's a symbology, right? Like it's a shorthand for communicating an emotion or a feeling. And I'm not thinking that that's literally my devil face grinning or, like whatever it is.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, so you're kind of saying, because there are smiley faces, and then there's kind of, there's the devil face or the horny
the cat
purple
or
face or whatever. You're kind of clumping them into, this does not represent my actual person. This is just, I'm representing the feeling rather than my actual face doing a frowny face.
You know what it feels like? Here's my analogy. I use emoji in the same way I think that I use GIFs. It's the shorthand to communicate an idea. And I'm not looking through GIFs to find a white person do a thing. I'm not looking for the one that represents me in a like physical avatar sense. I'm looking for whatever the thing that gets the message across.
Yeah.
And I think that emoji feels the same niche for me. At the same time, I do receive like a couple of my Māori friends will send a text where they are using a darker skin color, and that doesn't bother me either. I don't know why it would.
But would it bother you if a white friend sent
Well, none
you
of my white
slightly...
friends would have ever sent me a white thumbs up, I don't think.
Or what if they used a dark thumbs up? Would you think that's racist? Because I guess it's kind of highlighting, it's bringing attention to it. If you're someone who's not, Black or Southeast Asian or whatever, and you're sending a dark thumbs up, you're kind of...
It's a choice, right? Like you've made a choice.
It's a choice.
And I think I would be like that opera singer in many ways, where I'd be wanting to know why. Like why?
Sure.
What are you saying there?
But I guess the only answer to that would be, it's a joke.
Yeah, or is it meant to be some sort of weird allyship thing? Like like if I'm messaging a person of color, I think it would be very weird to message them a thumbs up of their skin tone. Like that's weird. That doesn't feel right. Well, if you're a white person texting a black person, don't change your thumbs up to a black thumbs up. That's weird.
I mean, I think it's hilarious. Like, no,
it's hilarious.
It's not hilarious. I'm not. I think it's funny, like laughing at the person doing it, not with them.
No.
And it's funny that they would think that that's some sort of solidarity or allyship.
Yeah.
The other thing is though, like the words that we use to describe skin tone don't actually match the colors. So white people aren't really white. They're kind of yellow. Yellow people, I'm not sure if that's still if people are still calling Asian
You're talking
people
like
yellow.
Simpsons. Well, oh, you mean that? Yeah.
No,
Asian
so
people
Asian people
are
have been
not.
called yellow.
Yeah.
They're not yellow.
No.
They're kind of light brown. Black people are not black. So, and brown. The only thing that really matches is brown people, which I don't know. I feel like I can see these terms, like calling people black, calling people brown. Like I know within those groups they self-identify as black or brown or whatever, but I can see that these terms becoming kind of abhorrent in the future. But like in the same way that calling someone white doesn't actually represent what they are. So why use? I guess it's like a shorthand to. I don't know. I'm getting into the weeds here, but
Yeah, I'm not quite sure that I follow you on that. I mean, as you say, it's like from like a pure color theory perspective, yes, a white person isn't white and a black person is not pitch black. I mean, you can have very dark-skinned people, of course, but I think that trying to wade into the middle of all that and be like, hey guys, just a thought here. Can we adjust our color terminology here? Just to can you change your cultural identity, please? Just because like the inaccuracy here is it's just a little bit irritating.
Well, the point it would have to come from within, and I'm just theorizing that could potentially happen. But like even in your messages with Casey, who is an Asian person, I'm sure he doesn't identify as yellow. But would you second guess yourself sending back a yellow emoji in the same way?
No, because the yellow emoji, for whatever reason, was the default. Like it is.
Right.
That was the color before they introduced more lifelike skin tones, right? So everyone, that was the representative of everyone, because as you correctly point out, no one's skins are actually that kind of fucking Simpsons yellow, so it doesn't. Yeah, that's what I would text to him all the time, and that's, I suspect, what he texts back off the top of my head.
You check your text. He actually hasn't texted
He never
me.
sends an emoji.
What's your you said eggplant before, which I believe, and everyone does believe that. But what would you say is your most used emoji behind the eggplant?
I mean, you can actually find this out by opening up your keyboard, and it'll be in your most used emoji.
Yeah, I think I'm the eyes. The eyes that look sideways. That's an emoji for all occasions.
Okay, I don't know the formal names of all of this shit.
I want you to describe them.
Okay, I've got red heart. I've got smiling with laughing with tears out of the eyes. I got the fire. Mm-hmm. I got sobbing, the complete sob. I got sunglasses grin, like the cool guy sunglasses.
Oh yeah, I got that one. Very cool.
I've got the clinking of champagne for some reason. I've got the grimace. My favorite, the grimace, the teeth bared, that one. I
yes,
get a lot
big.
of use out
that's
of.
Big.
Yeah.
It's ooh. Yeah.
They'd be like, oof. Yeah. I got the arm flex. I've got the mind blown.
That makes sense.
Oh, new favorite, the smiley face melting into a puddle.
Oh, that's everyone's favorite.
What an addition.
That's an all-time emoji for sure.
It's crazy that it took us this long to get there, but yeah.
Mine are a little bit more varied. I've got the eyes, the side, just the two eyes.
Okay.
Yeah, that looks. I've got the prawn.
As in the side eyes? Is that what you're talking about?
No, it's not a face. It's just two eyes.
Oh, just two eyes. I get you. Yeah.
I got prawn. I got the cool guy sunglasses. I've got the lady dancing.
In your most recent, most frequently used is prawn.
Prawn and octopus, actually.
Okay, just give me some context here. I'm texting you. What do I need to say for you to prawn me back?
Okay, I don't really know, but I think emojis, I like to get a little creative with it, and I just like to... I'll just throw in a prawn there. I don't give a fuck, Nick. I'll just throw a prawn in and let the recipient read into it. That's what I like emojis for. I want people to read into it unnecessarily, much like a Radiohead album. Sure. I want people.
You want there to be
just be like
re-listenability, like depth there for repeated viewing.
I want to be confusing for no reason.
Okay.
I've got the lady dancing, the
flamenco,
flamenco. I've got the pumpkin, Halloween, of course. And one of my most used is the smiley face with the cowboy hat.
Okay.
We're riding into the sunset
Is
with that
that
one.
inspired by your love for cowboy hat lady at the cinemas?
Oh my god, I remember her. What the fuck?
She would always come in and she wanted a hot dog.
Oh, she was very odd. I loved her though. She had a little bit
Oh,
of a limp.
we had so many great personalities in our
We
cinemas.
did.
Yeah,
Yes, most of them mentally unstable.
that's what made them special. Like everyone in
Patch
life.
Adams. Patch Adams.
Have we said that on the podcast before? It's been a
I
long
think
time.
so.
I think you need to recap that.
There was I don't know if this is it's not libelous, I guess.
No,
They're probably not together.
It happened.
But the owner, the person who owned the cinema, who inherited the cinema, we should say that, she started dating this guy she would come in very often with her family, and Nick and I, we'd often work behind the bar, we'd tear tickets, so we kind of built up a relationship with these people because they're coming in all the time to basically watch movies and get free food.
Dinner, yeah.
Eat those steaks that were cooked in a toasty machine. With the A sauce.
Aioli.
So this person, the owner, started dating this guy who became, someone who we had to also kind of suck up to a little bit because he was the boyfriend of the owner. So we kind of, I think we were both in their good graces, Nick, you and I. I think we could schmooze it up a little bit.
Yeah, we were like...
I got invited to their fucking wedding.
Crazy. The craziest.
It was wild. So she ended up marrying this guy, and then after the marriage, this guy whose name, for the emotional truth of this would be, his name is Robert Smith.
Yeah,
he had a very
normal
name. Saw the movie Patch Adams very late in life, by the way. This is like 20 years after the movie came out. Was so enamored with this movie that he decided to legally change his name to Patch Adams, and so we had to go from calling this guy Robert to Patch.
True story.
Without 100%. Without laughing, which was the hardest part. Hi, Patch. How you going? Yeah. Can I get you some more aioli, Patch?
Yeah, just the A sauce tonight. Thanks, Michael.
Good times. But yeah, cowboy hat lady. By the way, probably could have come up with a better name for her.
She always wore a cowboy hat. That's sort of in the name.
She did.
She was very sweet.
Just a bit off. Very sweet.
She came in and she always wanted a hot dog. There was the guy who drank so much Pepsi Max. Like, do you remember that? Would bring in like liters and liters of Pepsi Max.
No.
Yeah. There was a guy who...
Pepsi Max guy.
He was a Pepsi Max guy. And then I think his doctor told him he had to stop drinking it because he'd come in and he'd drink like 2 liters while he'd sit there on the couch before the session began. And then he started bringing in 2 liters of water because his doctor had told him to start drinking all of the Pepsi Max that he had.
That's impressive that he could just switch it out. He's like, I'm essentially addicted to liquid in large quantities.
What I want is 2 liters of something, and beyond that.
It could be Pepsi. It just happens to be Pepsi Max now. But it could be water. It could be juice. I don't care.
Yeah. So Wednesdays at the cinema were seniors' days, and I often got that shift. And seniors' day, they would do this lunches in the lounge, and all these nice old grannies would come in and get their $15 fish and chips, and then go and see a movie. And it wasn't a bad shift. You'd get a free lunch, and it was nice. But you got to know a bunch of these older grannies over time. And I still remember this lovely woman who was going in to see a movie, and then she saw someone that she recognized who she hadn't seen in a while. And she got all like teary and quite emotional.
I think I remember this.
And I went up and I was like, oh, is there something wrong? Can I help? And she's like, oh, I just saw someone. And I was like, okay. And she said, do you think it would be okay if I sat here for a while? I was like, yeah, that's fine. Yeah. She said, I'd like to see them when they come out because I haven't seen them in forever. So she sat there on this couch in the lobby for probably an hour and a half until this other woman finished up in this movie, and she must have gone over and spoken to the woman after she came out of this movie. And then there was a brief moment, and then the other woman walked off, and the old granny was still sitting there on the couch. And I was like, oh. And so I that's right. I went over and I spoke to her and I said, oh, did you get to see her? Like, did you get to speak to her? And she was still upset and still crying. And she said, sort of unprompted, I did something that I regret many years ago, and I've tried to apologize for it. And she didn't want to hear it. And so this woman had just walked out again and left this, this woman there on the couch. And I was like, oh my God, this is drama. Like, this is human emotions at play. And she didn't get the closure that she wanted. She didn't have the apology accepted, and she was living with that regret still. I was like, fuck, that's some deep shit for like a 21-year-old working on Seniors Day at a movie theater.
That's amazing. That is, I mean, for her to stay 90 minutes, and just sit there anticipating this confrontation or this
random opportunity,
awkward moment.
Yeah,
I mean, she must have had to have done some reckoning within herself, which is really like profound.
Yeah,
and it's so weird seeing like that in like an older person. We often just see people, like elderly people, clump them in this bracket of, they're just old because they have crazy ideas, they talk too much or whatever. But like a lot of our grandparents and people older than us have had like probably crazier lives than we have had. They went to war. They've seen people's heads blown off. They've fucked up. They've cheated on each other, on their friends, whatever. Like, they've had lives, but we still just see them as just old people, and they don't have any value to us.
And see them as static, right? Like as set now. Whereas this was like a gesture of a woman who was presumably in her 70s or 80s, trying still to reckon with regret, with choices that she's made, or make something right again, still while she's alive and around. And there were other times as well. There was another woman during Seniors Day where she would come in all the time. She was really lovely. I think I've said this on the podcast at some point in the distant past. But she would come in all the time, and then she was getting on a bit, and she started to come in with like a walker. And then, this is over the course of months or years, because I did that senior shift for forever. And then she came in on like one of those electric scooters, like the little moped sort of things, for a while. And then, we're talking a couple of years going, I was at the cinema for nearly 7 years. And then at a certain point, I just thought, oh, I haven't seen, what's her face in a while. And I realized, she died. Yeah. She
you just saw her deteriorate.
I watched the end gradually of her like deterioration, and she's not here anymore.
Yeah, that's it really was like the greatest job ever. Like, looking back on it now, it was so cruisy. I love talking to people. I don't know if I told you this, but I think even when you were my manager for a while there, and I would have that shift in the bar, but it was called a bar, but it was basically just serving old ladies scones and cappuccinos. And I would drive to work and I would smoke a joint in the car on my way. If I knew that, so I was going to this like bar shift, and I knew it was just me in there the whole shift. I'd just be 6 hours talking to old ladies. I'd smoke a joint, and then by the time I got to work, I was a little bit buzzed.
Yeah,
and I was just ready to just tell me everything, you old ducks. and I was like loving it there. I just hear all their stories. I'd ask questions. They're like, this young guy, he's so interested in us. And I was very interested, but I was also pretty stoned.
Yeah. And you got some tips for it, so it all worked out.
Yeah. Great job. Miss Wallace.
Oh, yes. What a strange and eclectic podcast this has been.
It's been nice though. I'm like
this is
my
low stakes.
posture is very it's very relaxed, and it's not often like super. I'm not often just
Normally
like
in this
settling
podcast, you're
into my
tense.
seat.
Yeah.
I'm a little bit because I'm kind of thinking of what to say, but now I don't feel any pressure to entertain anyone right now, and I don't think I have.
And we haven't, yeah. And yet, if you have enjoyed this episode, I've got great news for you. There are plenty more episodes in that old feed that you can go and listen to. Some which are just as, chatty and nonsensical, and others which are focused on topics of note. But please do check them out, and you can also find ways to contact us. Such as reach out on Facebook, send a message on Instagram, send an email to deepforward@gmail.com. You can rate us on Spotify. You can listen to our Christmas tunes on Spotify. You can just generally try and appreciate the life you have while you're living it, rather than leave things to your 80s to try and fix.
Yeah.
Well, I wondered, it's been a while, whether you might feel like a little bit of the old Bitlyball.
Oh, let's go. It's fun.
Bitlyball.
Okay, been a long time since we played a little bit of the old Bitlyball. Bitlyball. Bitlyball, as John Lennon once said. So this is a game in which... No, oh God, I've forgotten how to set this up, Michael.
I've forgotten the game entirely.
Okay. There is a URL shortening website called bit.ly, which enables you to post a very long URL in it and get a shortened link that you can more easily send around the web. One of the features of that website is a custom phrase that you can append to that shortened link. So, for instance, if you were promoting your Coldplay international tour, you might shrink it down and append the tag Coldplay tour, just to make things easy to link around. The goal of Bitlyball is to blindly guess random phrases that have been appended to the end of the Bitly shortener in the hope that it will lead us to a working website. Now, if we get it correct and it loads a page, we get a number of points equivalent to the length of the phrase that we guessed in terms of the characters, a number of letters in the phrase. If we get it correct and it redirects, but that page no longer works properly anymore, we get 0 points. Someone's used that phrase before, but it doesn't work anymore. If we are sitting on the Bitly error screen, sorry, we could not find that 404, you lose the number of points that you guessed. So it is a game of risk and reward. Big, long phrases could mean lots of points or could mean a big loss. And of course, there is the porn rule, where if you happen to stumble into a link that is to pornography, you will get double points. Michael, it has been a long time. It's been a long time since we played Bitlyball, but would you like to get us started?
Yes. Okay. Wait.
So we're going to be typing in bit.ly/ and then you pick a phrase. Remember, the more letters you guess, the more points you get.
Okay. All right. I'm going to be a bit rusty here.
Yeah.
But it's all in good fun, isn't it?
It is. I mean, I think no one's been keeping track of the winners and losers.
Okay. I'm trying to look around the room for inspiration. I thought I might have used this one before. But bit.ly/ Daddy's Little Angel.
Okay, that's a big swing up front. Okay. Daddy's Little Girl. Daddy's Little Angel. DADDYS.
Angel.
Okay, it's weird because that auto-filled Daddy's Little Girl for me. So you have definitely had this idea before. But I don't think you've done Daddy's Little Angel.
Oh boy.
I don't know what that says about your subconscious, but
let's not unpack that.
Alrighty. So 3, 2, 1. No dice. Something is wrong here.
Damn.
That is a 17-point deficit there, unfortunately, Michael. No dice there.
That's not a good start.
No.
All right. I'm going to open an incognito tab here. And just keep in mind, Nick, that I am currently in a socialist republic. So there could be some issues. If
So
you're
you're concerned about what sort of things might turn up.
Yeah, maybe don't say anything about the against the government of Vietnam, or maybe
No, I wouldn't. I would never. Okay. My guess, my first stab.
Yeah.
bit.ly/magician's apprentice.
Okay, can you talk me through the inspiration for that?
Well, here's where I'm getting at. Common phrase, and yet both words fairly lengthy. So I feel like if we get it right, we've got some good points here. So let me do the count here. Magician's apprentice is 20 characters. 20 characters.
All right. 3, 2, 1.
Oh!
Getting nothing here.
Nothing.
Ooh.
Okay.
Okay, that makes this interesting though. It makes it interesting.
Yep. We took some big swings on the first round. So we're still in it now. There's only 3 points difference between your 17 and my -20. Everything's still in play for the second round. Off you go, Michael.
Okay, just give me a second here to think. I think I know which kind of route I want to go down. I just need to think of the best way to
it's a phrasing question.
Summarize that.
Okay.
Okay. Wait, can I just... Oh, I can't really Google anything, can I? That's not in the spirit of the game.
No, it isn't, yeah. Unless it's like a spelling thing. I can help you with the spelling.
No, it's not a spelling thing. All right. bit.ly/Hillary Clinton. No. bit.ly/Hunter Biden laptop.
Okay. Hunter Biden laptop.
That's not bad.
That's not bad.
I like that one.
That's not bad. That's 19.
I hope this is a QAnon adjacent.
Okay. bit.ly/Hunter Biden laptop. 3, 2, 1. Oh, no. That's a no. Still nothing. Nothing. Does Bitly still exist?
That's up for grabs, people.
Yeah. You could.
I'm going to buy that.
You make sure you got something here.
I'm going to set up my blog on that URL.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, Bitly still works.
Bitly still works. Okay. Does Daddy's little girl still work? Okay. I think my second stab, I'm going to go a little bit shorter, but I'm going to go a little bit more conventional here.
Okay. Conservative.
Well, actually anti-conservative. bit.ly/pregnancy tests. Plural.
Okay. Pregnancy tests.
Oh, see, now I'm doubting myself. Singular?
I mean, how much does that extra letter matter to you?
Well, there's an extra point involved if I get it right here. But also, what's more likely? Pregnancy test or pregnancy tests? No, singular. No, I was wrong. Pregnancy test, singular. Right. Okay.
Consider that S deleted, Nick.
Thank you.
All right. 3, 2, 1. Oh, no. It's really working for this one. Oops, we can't... Oh, Planned Parenthood. Oops, we can't find that.
Oh!
I don't know, Nick.
Okay.
I don't know. This is a line call. So it has redirected to plannedparenthood.org.
Yeah.
However,
Oops, we can't
there is an
find
oops.
that.
We can't find that. So I don't think we've had this before.
This is what we were talking about in the middle. So I think we can both fairly rule out negative points here. This is redirected. Someone has used this link, so there's no negativity. If you reach a site, but that page is no longer as it once was, that's a 0 points. It's only if you get the full intact page that you get your actual letter count points. So that's a 0, but I'm happy to hold a 0 there rather than slip with 2 negatives. So that does put me in front
I think
now.
that's fair.
Yeah.
I think that's fair. Yeah.
Now, just for the sake of scientific exploration here, can we, uncounted, try pregnancy tests and see what I might have left on the table here?
ly/preg Nancy tests. Nah, that's nothing. So you would have lost points there.
Oh, it loaded for me.
What does it have?
dailymedicalinfo.com.
Oh, maybe I spelled it wrong.
Oh.
Preg Nancy tests. Oh, okay, yeah.
Oh, I
Yep.
would have got it. Oh, I
Arabic.
would have got it. It's in Arabic, but that's a working page.
Okay.
Man, I should have gone with my first instinct. That's gutting. Okay, still. I am at -20. You're at -38. But still anyone's game, as we know. The points here can fluctuate so wildly. Your final guess, please, Michael.
Okay. My final guess. Let's make it a little bit more topical.
Okay. More topical.
bit.ly.
Yeah. More topical than Hunter Biden laptop.
Matthew Perry.
Oh.
Friends.
Matthew Perry Friends.
Matthew Perry Friends.
You're doing
I'm going for the jugular here.
That is psychotic, Michael. I thought you were onto something. You want Matthew Perry Friends.
I want to swing big, Nick.
Okay.
I'm swinging big. By the
Go
way,
big or go home.
How sad? How sad about Matthew Perry?
This is what he would have wanted for us to to honor him by looking him up on Bitly. Matthew Perry Friends.
Did you feel anything about that death?
I was not a Friends guy, to be honest. I felt sympathetic, but I didn't have the connection. I know that you were a huge Friends guy.
I mean, there was a period of my life where I based my entire personality off his character on Friends, which I regret now because Friends has really not aged well in the same way that Seinfeld has. But I think it was a very. It's just sad because I guess like he's the first one to go, and I guess you could have probably predicted it with his like drug and alcohol addictions. But I don't know. I was more sad than I
Expected it to be. Yeah.
Anyway, Matthew
Let's
Perry
see whether
Friends.
he can make you happy. bit.ly/Matthew Perry Friends. 3, 2, 1. Nothing. Absolutely zip.
All right. I'm just going to type in Matthew Perry here. And that's still nothing. So
Still nothing.
there you go.
Okay.
Matthew
0 for
Perry,
0.
truly not honoured by us.
No. I got a redirect for Matthew Perry.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
What am I doing?
I don't know. Did you put 2 T's
Matthew.
in?
Yeah.
2 R's in.
Oh, no. I wrote Matthew Pert.
Yeah, that would probably be different. So you
Wait, I
could
got a
have
tech.
you could have get a tech
Still not
list.
getting
I mean, it's
anything
not going to get you points, but it's not going to lose you points.
Wait, tech list doesn't lose you points?
No, because it loaded.
That's not a
Someone has chosen to make a link bit.ly/Matthew Perry to redirect you to what looks like a Bitcoin harvesting website. So they've chosen that URL. It just unfortunately doesn't load into anything.
Okay. Well, I've struck out. I'm 3 for 3.
Actually, to be fair, I would have given you points for that because it doesn't actually look like
I wouldn't have
error
wanted
things.
points.
You wouldn't have wanted.
I wouldn't have wanted points. No, I would have rejected the points.
Okay.
Anyway, so you can. So, are you gonna? Are you? Are you going to do the fair thing here and swing massive to make it interesting? Because I could still win.
How crazy do I want to go here?
Go wild, Nick. Go wild.
You know what? You're right. If there's one thing that I've learned from listening to this episode of Deep Thought, it's that we don't know when we're going to go, and we need to do things in the moment to make sure we don't have regrets later. And that's why my word is supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
Love it. That's good sportsmanship. That is good sportsmanship.
How
the fuck am I going to spell?
I reckon if I spell half of it, I can Google it and get the whole.
Oh, I've already got it.
You've got it
here. Yeah. Easy. It came up. I've Googled it before.
You started writing super and it just auto-corrected.
I started writing Sue and it was like, is this... You want supercalifragilisticexpialidocious in a sentence again?
That's a 34. This is a huge swing. So let me just do a little bit of maths here to make sure that I know where we're at. I'm at minus 20. I'll edit this so it's not boring.
From where?
I'm at minus... This is going to be a 15-minute podcast. So I'm at minus 20. And then you are at minus 55. I've just picked a impressive. 34. So even if I get this wrong, I will still be 1 point ahead of you. So that's comically close. But I would love for this to be
all
right.
intents and purposes. It's a nail biter.
Yeah. the audiences are on the edge of their seat.
All right. So I've just copied and pasted this.
Yeah.
Do you trust that I have
Well, I hope so. Did you not put like weird like commas or quote marks or something on the end? Like it's as long as it still ends with "ocious," I trust you.
Okay. All right. So here we go.
Yep.
I'm not going to say it again. 3, 2, 1.
I've never been more nervous. Michael, what is it?
Still loading. I'm still loading, Nick. It's still got the spinny wheel.
Oh.
It's not looking good.
Oh God. Put me out of my misery, please.
The suspense.
How is it still loading?
I don't know. It doesn't like it.
Okay, do I need to do it?
You do it.
Okay, it's loading. It's YouTube! Oh! It's YouTube, but then it started loading and then it said video unavailable. This video is no longer available because the YouTube account associated with it has been closed. Someone has used that. That's no points.
But that's no lossing points.
No lossing points. Someone had clearly leaked to Mary Poppins, and then that video has been shut down. Oh, wow. God, what a nail biter.
What a thrilling end
to
a thrilling game.
Man.
A true spectacle.
A true one of the segments.
An audio game.
Yeah, of loading web pages.
Wow. I hope everyone can recover from that.
Yeah.
Just nail biter there.
Need to go out for a walk, I think. Just get some of this pent up energy.
Go for a walk, have a drink, do anything just to calm down, lower the heart rate, because that was
Yeah, that's Super Bowl. That's that kind of like high octane, viewer energy that you only get for those big events.
Would be nice to get a sponsor for Bitlyball like the Super Bowl is. I'm not saying it's necessarily on the same scale, but
maybe we could get Pepsi involved.
Pepsi, Panasonic,
Panasonic,
Manscaped. I don't know.
The big three.
It'd be nice to just have like a really just down the line company, just like
Hertz,
just like Dyson.
Hertz rental
Dyson.
cars.
Here you go.